What happened in the Army? What did you expect and what did you find? How do people treat you?
They treated me very well. You know, I've had people ask me if I had a rough time or something. I just did the same thing everybody else did. I didn't ask for anything, and they didn't give me anything, you know. I just did the same thing everybody else did. I made it very well. I had no trouble at all.
I remember
your dad was telling me that they expected you to sing, and you know, but that you didn't want to make it that kind of a.
They asked me once or twice, like Bob Hope would come over and do his Christmas thing. Christmas show. And they'd put a little pressure on me about doing his shows. And I said, gentlemen, I don't have any instruments. I've been in the service about a year. I was a corporal. I said, I've been in, you know, I don't have any instruments. It'd be difficult for me. I'd have to bring my musicians over here. I will do that. But I didn't want to do it. I just felt I couldn't really mix the two. I couldn't be in show business and be in the service too.
Well, up until that period of time, one of the things that I remember, maybe I've heard it, maybe I've read it in books. And I remember from my own experience, I remember being really pissed off at you because the girls that I was going to high school with, that I dug, all were in love with you. That son of a bitch, you know, he's got their, you know.
Well, I had the attitude of screw you, you know.
That's what I wanted to do.
All is fair in love and war, Jack, you know.
Oh, when we were doing the girl from the red?
Yeah, I mean, no, about the guy who was sitting there with his wife.
Oh, yeah, in Buffalo. In Buffalo.
It was in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was in Buffalo.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I can do the accent, the Buffalo, New York accent probably. But I had the videotape camera, and I was out in the audience, and we were going to tape that concert so that we could prepare for him. And the lady, there's two couples sitting there in their mid-30s or something like that. And the lady is saying, "Oh, I'd give anything if I could just get up and touch him, or maybe he'll kiss me." And he said, "You ain't going up on that stage. You get out of the seat. We screw." You know, she says, "Oh, if he just, I mean, if I could run up there and just kiss him, it would be just..." And he said, "Myrtle," he said, "you get out of this seat and you find yourself another husband. You touch that son of a bitch and we're through." And I said, "Why weren't I not filming this?" It was beautiful, and they were sitting right behind me. And she got, like the rest of the night, they didn't talk, and he sat there like this the whole night. He wasn't about to get into the concert at all.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I found, you know, through the years that most of the guys are pretty understandable about it. You know?
But you had gotten into some open hostility. Somebody had punched you or something like that.
Yeah, I had a few instances like that. Like somebody woke up and asked me for an autograph, take a swing at me. But they realized that I fought back. You know? And I didn't have any trouble like that from the time I got out of the service on. It was just those first few years, I had to watch for it, you know.
I think maybe one of the things the Army did is it made you aware of the fact that you could just be accepted as a human being, as just another guy.
Well, that's exactly what they did, you know. And we were under wartime conditions in Germany, and I was in a tank corps, so we were up on the Russian zone most of the time, just on patrol. And the weather was bad. It was 10 degrees below zero. And I tried to keep my morale up and keep going, keep busy.
Were you surprised the fact that suddenly you were just being accepted as another human being?
I was pleased with it. You know, the first few days, the guys just watched me, kind of watched me to see what I was doing, what I was going to do. When they saw I was doing the same thing that they were, they started to come around and talk to me and ask me questions about what was it like to make a movie, stuff like that. I found myself in Germany, guys would get letters from home. The girl had gone with another guy. They'd come wake me up in the middle of the night. Say, ask me about it. Ask me to read the letter. I found myself advising these guys what to do. I had a girlfriend too that was ding-a-ling, man, going off with somebody else. But I didn't say anything about my own situation. I just kept it quiet.
You had already made movies then,
I had 4 movies. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I had, Love Me Tender, Loving You, Jailhouse Rock, and King Creole.
Now you grow up looking at movies, and wherever you happen to go to movies, you see these heroes up on the screen. Suddenly you're going to Hollywood. You're going to get to be one of them. What happened when you came to Hollywood?
Well, by that time, I wasn't thinking along those lines. I didn't associate myself as being that. I was busy with a script. I had to memorize a script. It changed a lot of those things.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah, it was work. It was a job. I had to be there at a certain time in the morning and work a certain amount of hours, and that's exactly how I treated it. So I was more concerned about if the picture's any good or if I was any good, and
There were a lot of action movies. There were always, when you were driving the car or you were...
Yeah.
A lot of people, there's like 32 movies that have gone through it one time or another. A lot of people I've heard say, oh, he doesn't give a shit, about his movies. He makes all those movies and they just kind of grind them out. I think I've heard the same criticism. I remember we were talking about Robert Hilbert. Like I don't know what he was looking at, but he says, Elvis, we know different. That's one of the things we want to accomplish in this film.
Mm-hmm.
He really cares about what he goes on stage. He really cares about the movies, good or bad. The point is that you care about those films. You care if they're not good.
Yeah, I cared so much until I became physically ill. I would become violently ill. I'd get a temperature or something would happen to me.
What would concern you at the time about the film? What would make you ill?
The fact that I didn't, at a certain stage, I had no say-so in it. I didn't have final approval of the script, which means that I couldn't say this is not good for me, or whatever.
In other words, they just used you. They did anything they wanted to do.
It was that type, it was more or less that type of thing. I don't think anybody was consciously trying to harm me. It was just Hollywood's image of me was wrong, and I knew it, and I couldn't say anything about it. I couldn't do anything about it. I'd be right into production. I was doing a lot of pictures close together, and the pictures got very similar. A lot of them got very similar, and they, if something was successful, I'd try to recreate it the next time around. So I'd read the first 4 or 5 pages, and I knew that it was just a different name with 12 new songs, and the songs were mediocre in most cases. You can't get a song. So that's what might have made it seem like the indifference,